fire there at all, is there?
No.
Any movement from behind there, and they're going to have another go at it.
Just a reminder, this has been going on for about 36 hours, this fight for Qasr. Did think it was going to be secured yesterday.
So we're concentrating back on the buildings that we saw earlier, Sean. I think that's a different tank, and that's got its turret trained on the building.
It's got its sights set on that building, yeah.
This one is reversing and pointing in a different direction.
Well, it seems to have pulled away from that burn now, so maybe the firing has stopped there. George Joffe of King's College London is with us and perhaps can explain the significance of Qasr, why it's being so fought over. Why does it matter so much to British and American forces?
Well, first of all, don't forget it's right beside the Kuwaiti border, and it's therefore very important to secure the border. Secondly, it's the major deep-sea port into Iraq, and if you want to bring in humanitarian aid, then you've got to, in fact, control it effectively. Thirdly, it's on the point of access towards towns further inside Iraq, and particularly towards Basra. And therefore, again, you need to control it if you're going to move further inland. One of the features of the campaign so far has been that towns have tended to be isolated rather than simply taken over. And I think there's a feeling that they're going to have to begin to consolidate their presence.
Apparently troops were welcomed in Basra by people who were cheering and clapping, and it's not been the case in Qasr.
Well, we don't actually know that. I suspect the local population probably has welcomed them with open arms. The southern part of Iraq is a Shia area. It's traditionally hostile to the government inside Baghdad. But again, it's very carefully controlled, has been for many, many years. So I think the resistance you're seeing comes from those groups controlling the area rather than from the local population.
If they can't secure Qasr, how damaging will it be? Will it slow up the campaign quite considerably?
It's not going to slow up the campaign because the campaign is based on fast-moving forces already inside Iraq. But in the end, it's going to be controlled. There's no doubt at all. This is a very minor operation compared with the general picture.
Bill, that tank has gone right back to the burn again, hasn't it? And
it has.
Seems to be firing back into it.
There also appear to be some flashes coming from the right of that picture there, and I'm not sure whether that was somebody returning fire. If they were, it was coming from exceeding. That's a heavy exchange of fire there from exceedingly short range. That's heavy machine gun fire of some kind. It
looks like we're seeing fire from, at least 3 different positions that we've seen in the past few minutes. One, a building, one, the burn that you were seeing earlier, that mound. A burn is a mound that the Iraqis appear to be hiding behind. And the one that we just saw previously, the slightly longer building.
I think there are 3 Abrams tanks dealing with the situation at the moment.
Adam Minot said that a firefight which broke out, about at 5:15 our time, he thought there'd been a ceasefire. He saw a white vehicle waving white flags, but obviously not.
We're just going to stay on this for a minute just to keep in touch with the situation because it's a fairly important encounter, this.
Just to remind you, if you just joined us, this is one of a small group of Iraqis who've been occupying positions inside the town of Qasr.
Which one?
They prevented coalition forces taking the town. Let's have a listen. I think the correspondent's trying to say something to his home base. Can we hear him at all? No. No. He's fallen silent. This has been going on and off for really the past 36 hours.
You're watching Breakfast from BBC News with Bill Turnbull and Sean Williams. The time is 7 o'clock and we are live in Qasr this morning in southern Iraq where a battle has been developing all morning between American forces and pockets of Iraqi resistance.
We've been seeing small groups of Iraqis who've been occupying positions inside the town of Qasr. They've prevented coalition forces from securing the town. It's been going on and off, as we've been saying, for the past 36 hours. The US Marines think the numbers are fairly small, but they obviously present a fairly significant threat. It was thought that Qasr had been secured yesterday, but as you can see, it's far from safe. Our correspondent there is Adam Minot, and we're going to try to listen to him in just a few moments. Let's listen to the correspondent based on the ground here now.
Hold up over there in a number of low-level buildings, one-story buildings. The captain says he suspects there are That was a large gun fired from the lead Abrams tank. It's not. I think that missed its target. Both tanks are now moving forward, and another third tank has now appeared as well. That's come over the hill.
This is the voice of our correspondent Adam Minot on the scene.
Right, traffic. I think that's probably. I mean, as much as I can do for the time being. For someone.
Well, we'll just lose Adam there now. We'll try to get him back in just a few moments. We're seeing US Abrams tanks. They've been firing, Bill, haven't they, on about 3 different positions that we think, and those are the pictures that we've been seeing for the past half an hour. We're hearing machine gun fire. I think we can talk to our correspondent Adam Minot now. Adam, perhaps you can describe what you're seeing at the moment.
Yes, these Iraqi positions in front of me have been holding out now for about an hour and a half. And the captain of Fox platoon, the Fox company, I beg your pardon, that I'm with, called forward the tanks. 3 M1 Abrams tanks have come forward, engaging now at the moment with their 50 caliber machine guns mounted on top of their turrets. These 2 Iraqi positions, which are about a kilometre away in front of me. They're situated about 700 or 800 metres from the new port, which has now been secured. The area they're firing at is one of these pockets of resistance that has been holding out, Iraqi resistance has been holding out for the past 2 days. And fire came in from these Iraqis this morning. It was returned by a patrol of Marines. It continued, and that was why the tanks have been called in. 2 shots have been fired with the big guns from these tanks. The first one looked as though it hit a target. The second shot looks as though it didn't. Now the lead tank is moving. The lead Abrams tank is moving forward again up to a second suspected position, inching forward, maybe doing 2, 3, 4 miles an hour, just creeping forwards. It is a pretty awesome, terrifying sight. This huge battle cruiser grinding its way forwards.
It's getting a bit of wind noise there, Adam. We've been watching pictures of this for about the past 20, 25 minutes. One thing we were struck by was that apart from the main buildings, which we can see from our camera viewpoint here, as the round going in, there was also fire concentrated on a sand dune or a berm to the right of the building. What was that, do you know?
Well, there are thought to be maybe 2 or 3 groups of Iraqis. That's the main gun side. Now that hit the building. You've probably just seen that. That was a direct shot from the main gun of the second tank, which took that bunker out. The Captain Rick Crevier, who's conducting this entire operation from about a few feet from where I'm standing, said good effects was his report on that hit. So that hit the building, the target where it's suspected these Iraqi troops have been holding out. You're referring to that bunker position. It's thought that the group of Iraqis may have split up into 2 or 3 groups. So fire has been concentrated on several positions.
And the numbers within those groups fairly small, you were telling us a little bit earlier, but still represents quite a significant threat.
Yeah, it's impossible to tell the numbers, but you're right, Charlie. They are thought to be small, maybe just 20 or 30 people. Armed, it looks as though they're certainly armed with automatic weapons. It's not entirely clear. It's not entirely clear what other sort of weapons they've got. They're now moving forwards again, I've just been told, up towards another suspected Iraqi position. The tanks have been asked to slow up. Now, apparently there's some Iraqi troops moving as we speak, and the tanks have been directed in